as we're starting our grand finals. As a reminder, this will be a best of 5 series, not a best of 7, not a best of 3, best of 5. And we are starting things off on 2000 atmospheres. Wow. Here we go. As a reminder to everyone, place your bets, as I did set up the predictions. Place your bets on the series, not per game, you know, who will come out on top between these two players. Place your channel points as we are getting into the swing of things, spawning in the top right hand corner of 2000 atmospheres LE. We have the South Korean Zerg player. He is red. He is representing KZ Gaming, KZG. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of 2000 atmospheres LE, we have the Mexican Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Exxon. It is SpeCial. Oh boy. So I'm concerned. I'm concerned for SpeCial's life here. I said it before, and I stand by it. I do think that Gerald had a better chance against Solar. We have seen Solar struggle against Protoss specifically. Solar has been very vocal about it as well. Solar, he does struggle against Skytoss, against Double Stargate Void Ray. We've seen him fall to Zest and Stats and Trap time after time after time. Solar has been having a hard time in ZvP. But this is not ZvP. This is ZvT. And Solar is pretty good. He has retained his skill here. At the same time, so has SpeCial. I think it's important to note that SpeCial, he typically, historically, does struggle in TVP as well. Both these players struggle against Protoss. But SpeCial was able to overcome that. So now we have a new informed SpeCial here. And things can be different. I mean, I would tend to lean towards Solar, but you know, if SpeCial is on fire, like, let's see what he has to offer. SpeCial, of course, he is living in Korea as well, so both players have the best ping possible playing in this series, as we are on the Asia server. And we'll see if Juanito can do it here. As so far, he does open up with his Reaper. He didn't skip it. He didn't go for... Oh my god. He has to be careful. He did not skip it and go for a Marine first or anything greedy like that. He has to be careful with this Reaper. Almost got surrounded. Was able to escape. Oh my god. Please, SpeCial. He wanted that tumor. But he does back off for now. And what's interesting is that SpeCial, this is of course a much more economic opening. 1-1 into a third TC before starport. So very fast third base on the way for SpeCial. Of course, very economic, not very aggressive whatsoever. And it looks like Solar should be able to scout this. He has not gone into the main base quite yet, but he does have an Overlord in position to dive straight in and see everything. So things so far are opening up pretty standard. Honestly, I love it. I love that SpeCial isn't looking to cheese. He isn't looking to, like, you know, be all in or anything like that. He is playing this straight up against Solar. I love it. You know, two players kind of testing each other at the moment. Oh, wow, and he does get it. Z. He's like, yo, SpeCial, you Solar, are you asleep at the wheel? SpeCial does get a tumor, and he's happy about it. Throwing that shade. I love it. I love it. Meanwhile, Solar, he is getting pneumatized carapace, which does mean that he will have Overlord speed, so he will be able to dive in with his Overlord and see everything, make sure he secures that scout. Meanwhile, at the same time, SpeCial being a little bit aggressive here with his Hellions and his Reaper. He shouldn't get too much because the Queens are here, but we'll see as, oh yeah, 4 Queens, you don't want to mess with that. Not at all. SpeCial does get pushed away. Meanwhile, the Overlord does dive in with pneumatized carapace. Solar, he sees the third base. He sees the add-ons being made. He knows the opening for SpeCial. He also sees this, which is curious. We have a Raven on the way, as we do, of course, have that tech lab on the starport. Solar saw that the tech lab wasn't researching, so he should be aware that a Raven is on the way, or a Banshee without cloak at least. And this is pretty important. So SpeCial should be looking to use this Raven to clear creep. The Raven will support the Hellions out here and the Reaper for SpeCial, and he'll be able to clean things out. He'll be able to deny the creep as best he can and keep Solar's vision at a minimum. That's what he should be doing. We'll see if he decides to go for some harassment instead, but yeah, so far it is sticking with the main army. He has to be careful. He has to make sure he doesn't lose the Raven. There's a lot of value in this Raven, and you don't want to be losing it to any of these queens. As he dives in, gets a tumor, gets 2 tumors, almost 3. But does get 2 for now and does back off. At the same time, ooh, a massive Ling run by in the natural base. The wall was not a wall. All the Hellions were across the map. And this is a significant amount of damage. 7 SCVs going down, potentially 8. Oh my god. That is far too much damage here. Solar, he even sneaks his Ling into the main base, gets a scout of all the production, confirms all of the add-ons, all the production buildings. No, of course, it's not mech or anything crazy like that. And 8 SCVs go down. SpeCial, he had a good start, but oh god, he was caught off guard. He was not expecting a Ling run by. He thought that he was going to keep all the attention of Solar busy with these Hellions, but not at all. Solar even getting ready for another run by. The wall is still not a wall. There are Marines here though, and the Marines are actually plugging up the wall. Nicely done there by SpeCial. At the same time, the Hellions are pushing on forward, and auto turret is thrown down, and this creep is denied. But you know what? The Lings, they do not care about these Marines. They push on forward anyway. More SCVs are going down. At the same time, the Hellions, they try to push up the ramp, but they do get denied by the Queens. More creep is being spread, and he confirms that the 4th is on the way. Can he stop it though? Can he do anything about it? The problem is that there are so many Queens here. Creep is being spread. There's plenty of energy for transfuse, and Solar does defend his 4th base. At the same time, going for a massive Ling run by here at the 3rd of SpeCial. And once again, SpeCial, his army was not in position, and there are enough Lings to get on top of the Lings and the tank. The Lings will get cleaned up, but he kills every single Marine. My god. That 1-1 timing. For those wondering, oh my god, those Lings did a surprising amount of damage. 1-1 just finished up. For those Marines, sorry, for those Lings. 2-2 is on the way, and that hit beautifully there against the 0-0 Marines of SpeCial, and that stops any push that SpeCial was hoping to do. Like, look at his army movement. SpeCial wanted to push out across the map with his army, go for some kind of stim timing with his upgrades, with combat shields, but that was completely denied because he lost every single one of his Marines. And now he's forced to stay at home. He lost all his workers. He's trying to resaturate his bases and retain control of his 3rd base, but oh god, so far Solar has been in control. The only thing that SpeCial has going for him right now is the fact that he's been able to slow down the creep spread. Like, he's done a lot with these Hellions and the Raven. Definitely give him credit there. But is it enough though? Is it enough to get, like, again, like, he's getting all the creep, which is great. Like, this is beautiful. But not when you keep losing your workers, and not when you keep losing your army. That's the problem. They're not really equal to each other. Like, creep spread is great and all, but Speaking of, here we go. We of course have the Hive on the way. Oh boy. The Hive? Yes, the Hive. The infestation pit is already done. You did not mishear me. Meanwhile, SpeCial, oh god, the tanks are getting caught out of position. Oh, the Banelings though. There wasn't enough Ling Bane. SpeCial, this push can still work. There is 1 tank as the backbone for this army. A lot of the Banelings have gone down, and Solar is forced to evacuate this base. At the same time, I was wondering where the Lings were. They were going for another counterattack. All the SCVs at the natural and at the 3rd base will go down. SpeCial is all in. He has to end the game here and now. There are a lot of Banelings here though, and that's the problem. SpeCial, he's got to be on point with his spread. He's got to split, Papi, split! And he does split somewhat. So far, so good. The problem is that the longer he takes, the better this is for Solar. Solar wants SpeCial to take his time. Solar needs time to morph in more Banelings, morph in more Lings, get more Queens, more army to defend. Meanwhile, SpeCial, he is dropping into the natural base. He knows that he is on a clock right now, but it doesn't look like he has enough army to force this. He finally deals with all the Lings across the map, which is great, but he's supply blocked, he can't produce anything, and yo, we have an Ultra Cavern on the way. Like, Solar didn't miss a beat. Like 8 minutes in, he was already working on his Hive. The Hive is done, Ultra Cavern's on the way, Adrenal Glands is on the way, 2-2 has completed, he can work on 3-3 if he wants. Another Ling run by in the natural base, all these SCVs are under threat, into the main base even. God, Solar is just relentless with his Lings, and SpeCial, he just cannot keep up with them. The Lings get on top of everything. It looks like they will get cleaned up, but the Lings, once again, they hit the third base. All the SCVs go down here at the third. Zero mining. Solar has all of the money. He has all of the economy. And SpeCial hasn't done anything here. He needed to keep going. He needed to keep pushing. Because he just has been idle outside the natural base. Ultras are on the way. Mate, Ultras are on the way. This is looking rough for SpeCial. Another massive Ling run by. Once again, there's nothing here. There's no tank. There are a bunch of Marines in the main base, thankfully. You know, there is an army here. Meanwhile, SpeCial, he's just trying to reinforce his army across the map. He has 2 tanks now. 3 tanks, sorry. Which is pretty good. Is it good enough, though? I press F to doubt. X to doubt even, as the Ling Bane Ultra Queen pushes on forward, cleans up the entire army of SpeCial. All these tanks will go down. There are a bunch of Marines here, and honestly, like, SpeCial, he's trading the best that he can, but he's just so limited with what he has to work with. GG gets called. Solar takes game number 1. GG. That was a very decisive game, to say the least. Like, Solar just... wow. Just wow. Alright, here we go. Getting into game number 2. We'll be on Oxide. Oxide is more of a Terran favored map, so SpeCial, he does have that small map advantage going for him. But what he really needs is he needs to make sure the wall is a wall. He needs to make sure he has things at home to defend against these Ling run-bys, because these Ling run-bys are killing him. They are absolutely murdering him right now. Oh boy. SpeCial, he needs your energy right now if he wants, if he's gonna get through this. Oh boy. Because here in the bottom left hand corner of Oxide LE, we have his opponent, the Zerg player hailing from the land of South Korea, already up 1-0 in this best of 5 finals. We have, representing KaiZ Gaming, Solar. KZG. And spawning in the top right of Oxide LE, we have the Mexican Terran representing Team Exxon. He did a very good job getting here to the grand finals, but this is the final boss. Can he do it? Can he bring it back? It is SpeCial. Boy, I'm getting he who must not be named vibes right now from Solar. Like, the Ling harassment has been absolutely insane. He's just been all over SpeCial, just relentless. Absolutely, it was looking really rough. Like, that was just the constant Ling harass was insane. Getting into the third, getting into the natural, getting into the main, just time after time after time. That was brutal, game number 1. But we are here, we're in game number 2, and hopefully SpeCial, he can just, you know, he can just kind of regain himself a little bit, you know, just shake it off. Forget about it. It was just game 1. Reset mentally a little bit and get back into things in game 2. Hopefully, that's my hope anyway. We'll see if he can make it happen. What's a little bit of a shame is that game 1 SpeCial opened up very economically, incredibly economically, with that third CC before Starport, and I was looking forward to it. I liked the fact that he wasn't going for like a 2-base all-in. After game number 1, I'm concerned that now that's his mentality. Now he's like, I can't go to the late game against Solar. I have to end it early. And if that's his mentality, I don't know. Maybe it is the best way to win here. Maybe he has a point. Maybe like there is validation there. But I don't know. I don't know if it'll work against Solar. Like Solar is just so good at scouting. We'll see. We'll see what SpeCial decides to do here. As so far, I'm surprised. SpeCial is opening up with a 1-1 into fast third CC. After game 1, he's like, you know what? I just need to defend. I just need to focus a little bit more on my defense, and I still have faith, I still have confidence in my own abilities. Very bold choice here to still go for that third CC before Starport, still go for this very economic opening. Something else that I didn't get to point out, SpeCial skipped his Reaper. He gave up on scouting information. He has seen nothing. He has no idea what Solar is doing right now. Instead, he is cutting corners and focusing on his own build. And honestly, if you're up against someone who you know isn't going to cheese you, why not? You know? Like, the point of going for that Reaper early on is just to get an eye on like the bases, maybe delay the third base, the third hatchery, see if there's a fast Roach Warren or fast gases or fast lair, scouting information, right? So you know if your opponent's doing something cheeky. Solar isn't going to do that. That's not the kind of player he is. Maybe in other matches, sure, in ZvP specifically, but against Terran, SpeCial is calling his bluff. SpeCial is cutting corners, and he's going to get away with it. He's like, I know you're not going to cheese me early on, so I'm not going to waste any resources in a Reaper. I am going to assume that you're going to play straight up, and, you know, let's cut corners and, you know, be a little bit more efficient. And so far, so good. We do see that the Hellions are going across the map. We'll see if they get anything done. Interesting choice here by Solar. He throws down a Roach Warren, not a Baleen Nest. What else that's interesting is that he did dip in with his Overlord. He saw the 1-1-1. He saw the faster CC. He saw the Tech Lab on the Starport, and that could be a tell. That could be a tell. We don't have any spores yet, but we do have a BC on the way, as the Fusion Core is done. This is very cheeky by SpeCial, but we have spores on the way. I think Solar sussed it out. Like, again, he saw the Tech Lab on the Starport. That's very indicative of what's coming, especially because there was already a Tech Lab on the racks as well, so there was no weird switch or anything. And with Pneumatized Carapace, he dives in with his Overlord. He sees the Fusion Core, and he knows. He knows 100% what is on the way. Ooh, at the same time, the Hellions of SpeCial do dive into the natural, and they do get surrounded. So a couple of Hellions do go down for free there. A little bit unfortunate. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but SpeCial actually tried to sell a lie here. He started Yamato when the Overlord came in and then canceled it when it left. So he wants Solar to think that SpeCial is committing even harder to the BCs than he really is, and forcing Solar to throw down this Spire and go into Corruptors. But, ooh. The Overseer does dive back in. There is no longer an upgrade researching, but does that mean that it finished, or does that mean that he cancelled it? I don't know the timings, so I'm not too sure if Solar can deduce, hey, it's not being researched anymore. You do not have Yamato. I mean, now he knows because he sees the BC, and there is a visual change when Yamato is done, so now he knows. Even throws down a Changeling here in the natural, and Solar, he is just comfortably expanding. We see something that was delayed because he went for a Spire are his upgrades. We have double Evo on the way, as well as a Baleen Nest. So he was just, you know, for safety purposes, and I don't blame him because there can be some strong Hellbat, even Banshee or BC timings. He did go for that Roach Horn early on, but eventually he does want to switch into Ling Bane, and because he knows that there isn't an ultra commitment into BCs, he doesn't have to make Corruptors, and he is going Ling Bane Muta. Oh boy, at the same time, Hellions do get into the third base of Solar, get a couple of workers here and there, and honestly, this is nice. A couple of things were achieved here. Just because it's at the third base, SpeCial, he saw everything. He saw the Evos, he saw the Baneling Nest, and he saw the Spire. He knows the army composition that's on the way for Solar. On top of that, he's keeping Solar at home. Solar hasn't been able to harass at all this game, as opposed to game number one, where game number one, Solar was all over SpeCial. So SpeCial has done a really good job at keeping Solar busy. The problem is that unlike game number one, Solar, his creep spread has been unhindered, and it is going hard across the map. It's already halfway across, and soon it's going to be reaching the bases of SpeCial. So this creep spread is scary. Thankfully for SpeCial, these mutas did reveal themselves earlier. SpeCial had enough time to get ready for them. We got missile turrets on the way. We got plenty of Marines out as well. So these mutas will not deal any damage, or I say any damage. They will barely deal any damage at all. So nice defense here by SpeCial. He's got some sensor towers down. He's working on his upgrades, working on 2-2, as opposed to Solar, who's still working on 1-1. So honestly, SpeCial is getting into the mid game really nicely, but you don't want to you don't want to count Solar out of this, because even though he isn't dealing any damage, like, there isn't a lot of damage being dealt to Solar. Solar is just macroing up to his heart's content. He's expanding, he's taking other bases, and SpeCial hasn't really been able to do much about this. We do see a BC finally on the way on the left-hand side. Hopefully it does divert the attention of Solar. There we go. His entire army does respond to it. He does pull back a little bit, but the mutas are looking to hunt down that BC. And there we go. Infestation Pit is on the way. So Solar is looking to get all the way into Hive. He has all his bases. He has his entire half of the map, essentially. And now, finally, SpeCial is pushing out. He's on siege, though. No, this is the worst time to be on siege. The tanks, they immediately go down. Now it's only Marines here remaining for SpeCial. The Ling Bane of Solar taking out the majority of the bio. But Solar, he does pull back. He does not want to fight off of creep. But SpeCial, he is pushing on to creep. He has to be careful here again. SpeCial he sustained a lot of losses. In the blink of an eye, losing all his tanks like that was huge. And now, like, Solar has so much momentum going for him. We have Thors on the way. Do we have any Widowmines? We do. We have 4 Widowmines. They need to get out there, mate. Like, SpeCial needs those Widowmines. Oh god, is it going to be enough though? I worry for him. At the same time, the BC is being annoying, harassing here towards the south, forces a bunch of workers off the line. Nicely done, does force a response. Meanwhile, ooh, the Marines of SpeCial. Oh, I don't like that he pulled back. Mate, there's nothing here. Just keep clearing creep, keep killing queens. But he does pull back regardless. Looking to rotate towards the north instead. Maybe a better choke position for these Widowmines. Oh, here we go. Widowmines do borrow. Oh, but they are being biled down. Oh, solid biles here by Solar. Widowmine shot does go off, but doesn't really connect. Only one Widowmine left, and it does force SpeCial back. At the same time, the mutas do deny the newest base of SpeCial. SpeCial attempting to expand here on the right-hand side, but was denied. Oh god, and I worry for SpeCial. I mean, to be fair, both players are maxed out. 3-3 is on the way for SpeCial. Oh god, but the Ling Bane, they're getting connections, they're getting surrounds. SpeCial is forced to pick up. Thankfully, the mutas were not close by, so anti-air couldn't really stop those medevacs. Oh, juicy Widowmine connection there. Finally, something going SpeCial's way. At the same time, the majority of SpeCial's army is pushing on the right-hand side of the map. He will be able to kill the bottom right-hand hatchery. Oh, but there's only one medevac here, so this army is committed and it will get cleaned up. Only a single Thor manages to escape, quote-unquote escape. At the same time, SpeCial is pushing over on the left-hand side of the map. There are Banelings here, but only a handful, only one Baneling remaining, so there's nothing really stopping this bio army from pushing on forward and getting on top of these Ravagers. The Widowmines do borrow. The Ravager shots, though, they miss. They do miss the Widowmine, and the Widowmine will go off. Decent connection there, but the Ling and The Ling Bane is here ready and waiting to defend. And this push doesn't reach the hatchery, unfortunately. I'm sure SpeCial would have loved to have picked up another base, but the defenses of Solar were just barely there in time. And now Solar, he has defended long enough to the point where Ultras are on the way. And this is terrifying. Ultras are terrifying. Defensively, I should say. Off of creep, they can struggle to get on top of the army. Speaking of getting on top of the army, yo, a massive Bane run by Hero at the 4th base does take out the bunker. Oh god! The SCVs, they go down! God, the Bailey connections were beautiful. The mutas do dive in to clean up, and mate, he wants that CC. He gives up on it though. He goes straight into the main base. At the same time, SpeCial, he's pushing out across the map. Straight into Ultras. Oh my god. That is not where you want to be if you are SpeCial. The Wintermines, they do find some connections, but the Ultras are going to be enough here to clean up. I say that, but the Lings are being thinned out. Is there enough here for SpeCial to break Solar? It looks like just barely. The Ultras are forced away. But the mutas, they are just going ham in the main base of SpeCial. Nothing to stop them whatsoever. Meanwhile, the main army of SpeCial is looking to try and connect the Wintermine shots. They do connect. The Ultras, they're getting low. Ooh, but Solar is on top of those transfuses, trying to keep the Ultras alive. But so far, the focus fire is on point. And you know what? There's only one Ultra left. 0 Ultra. Nope. Still 1 Ultra remaining. And there's just enough here for Solar to defend. GG gets called. SpeCial, he gave up on his base. He gave up on his main. He just went across the map. And Solar had his Ultras to defend, and it was just barely enough. Solar now up 2-0. Ay. SpeCial, honestly, he was making some moves happen. He was killing bases here and there. Unfortunately, once again, it did come down to the defense. The lack of defense. Like, he was forced all in because of the amount of damage being done to him, being done to his economy. His hand was forced and he just couldn't make it work. God damn it, Jim. And here we go. We are getting into game 3. Like, yeah, SpeCial, he was able to like kill a couple of bases. He was able to push towards the bottom right hand side of the map. He was able to trade relatively well with the Ling Bane, but he did not have an answer to the Ultras. Ideally, when Ultras come out, you have Ghosts or Liberators or enough Marauders to focus them down. And he almost did. He almost did have enough Marauders. He was killing those Ultras, but the Ultras were just also kind of buffering for the Ling Bane as well. There was just an overwhelming amount of Zerg there for Solar. And Solar, he takes game number 2. And now we are getting into game number 3, potentially the final game. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player. He is red. He is representing KaiZ Gaming, already up 2-0 in this best of 5. He just needs one more, and he will be our ESL Open Cup 66 Americas champion. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Romanticide LE. He needs your help. He needs your energy right now. He is down 0-2. He's struggling a little bit, but he is still here fighting for his tournament life right now. He is, of course, representing Team Exxon, representing Mexico as well. It is SpeCial. Bold move, Cotton. Wall on the low ground. Bold move. 2 racks. Oh my god. SpeCial is throwing caution to the wind, mate. He's like, you know what? I'm pulling a Maru right now. Not quite a Maru, you know, a full Maru would just be a proxy on the other side of the map. But opening up with the 2 racks like this, obviously you're walling off to protect your natural base. You're going to be pumping out as many, I imagine, yeah, Reapers as you can. We'll see if SpeCial can get some damage done with this. Oh boy. In general, I do like the change of pace. In game 1 and game 2, SpeCial opened up very economically. Now completely switching gears here in game 3, going straight into Reapers instead, just ramping up in terms of the aggression. But you know what? Solar, his overlord, will eventually see this, and we will see how Solar deals with these Reapers. Again, it's going to come down to his Queen control, to his Ling micro, keeping as many workers alive as possible as well, as the first Reaper is going across the map, and the production will be revealed to Solar. There we go, 2 racks. What do we have here? We have 2 Queens coming out, we've got 4 Lings, which is, you know, what we would typically expect. This Reaper of SpeCial looking to get some damage done. He wants to maybe deal with the Lings, maybe deal with the drones as well. Get a drone or 2. Oh, almost gets 1. Oh, was maybe a little bit too greedy there, but he kept his Reaper alive. Now joining up with the second one. And what's interesting is that, yo, we have Marines on the way, and this is being scouted as well, which is the scary thing. We do have a switch into Marines, which is massive for Solar to keep an eye on, because hey, now I know a bunch of Reapers aren't on the way. And we are most likely going to be seeing a more committed Marine, maybe even Hellbat push after this. As the Reapers commit into the main base, they do get past the Lings and the Queens. Let's see if they can actually get into the mineral line and get some drones. We'll see, 1 drone does fall, 2nd drone falls, but so will one of these Reapers. 3 drones in total for 1 Reaper. Not the worst trade. SpeCial, of course, he has eyes on the 3rd base, which is nice. Oh boy, but we'll see, because obviously Solar, he has defended, now he's going across the map with his Lings. He has to do something with his Lings, and we'll see what happens here for SpeCial. Wait, what? Did I lose? Okay. I lost sight of the Marines for a moment there, and I was concerned. I was very concerned. The wall! The wall! The wall's not a wall! No! The Lings, they get on top of the Marines. The Marines, they are going to go down. Finally, the wall does go up. 2 Marines did fall, but the 3rd did stay alive, and the Lings, they get into the main base. They scout everything. He sees the 3rd that's in production. Ay. Beautifully done there by Solar. He saw the racks, he saw the starport, more importantly, he saw the CC. He knows what is coming his way, which is not much. So he knows that he is free to drone up, and that is the most important thing as a Zerg player, to know when to drone and to know when to focus on your tech. As so far, he has nothing. He still only has 1 gas. He doesn't have any Evo chambers. He doesn't have a Bailey Nest. He doesn't have a Spire. Finally, we do have the Lair on the way, being a little bit greedy. Again, this will delay some of his upgrades, but he's focusing on his Lair tech instead. His Lair upgrades, even as the Bailey Nest is on the way as well, so he can get into Bailing Speed, he can get into Mutas, into the Mutas. Oh, meanwhile, a bit of a Hellion run by here. The drones were lining up, but the Queens and Lings were in position to defend. Oh boy. Well, Hepatitis Lee, I was expecting more cheese out of Solar. I mean, Solar doesn't really cheese in ZvT. He doesn't need to. We've seen him macro to his heart's content. He is a lot more, like, quote-unquote cheesy in some of the other matchups. And to be fair, maybe he just feels confident against Juanito. It is quite possible, because for the most part, Solar has been defending and just macroing up. He's just been like waiting until he gets maxed out. To be fair, he has been aggressive with his Ling run bys, especially in game number 1, but I mean, they were just run bys, right? They weren't necessarily meant to deal game-ending damage at the time. They did. That they did. Meanwhile, we do have SpeCial going across the map with his Marines. A nice timing here. Stim did just finish up, so he does have that available with his Marines. I don't believe he has an armory. No, he does not. So these are just Hellions, not Hellbats. We're going to clear up as much creep as possible. But of course, there are Bailings to defend as well as Queens and Lings, so SpeCial has to be careful if he wants to push up this ramp. Really, he shouldn't want to push up this ramp. Calm down, puppy, calm down. At the same time, we got a small Ling run by head towards the main base. There are Marines here to defend, so the Lings won't find anything. Beautifully done. SpeCial does raise the wall. These Lings will not find any damage. At the same time, the Queens push on forward, trying to spread that creep, but they expose themselves. 1 Queen does fall. A 2nd Queen falls. SpeCial doing well so far. Doing well. getting small wins here and there, denying the Ling run by, killing some queens, clearing some creep. He hasn't sustained any major losses yet. And we'll see, another queen does fall. Oh, does pick up one medevac full of marines, but he did also take a bailing shot there, did lose a decent amount of marines as well. Has to be careful. 1-1 is on the way. 1-1 will hit a little bit faster than 1-1 of Solar, so he will have that upgrade advantage. And here we go, he's going across the map. He's got 2 tanks loaded up in that medevac. Meanwhile, at the same time, Solar is getting ready for a Ling run by, which means he does not have his entire army here to defend. Oh god, but what's scary is that there's nothing here for SpeCial. The wall isn't a wall. No, he just wasn't ready in time. The Lings, they get into the third base at the same time. Ooh, the Bailings do find some connections on the marines of SpeCial. It looks like SpeCial has enough reinforcements to defend at home. And honestly, losing 3 SCVs, not the biggest deal. And now SpeCial can focus on his main push. Here we go. We got 2 tanks so far. Some Bailings were trying to sneak around, but they were dealt with. Now SpeCial is pushing on forward, looking to deny this 4th base. The 4th does finish, so Solar is committed to defend against this, and he's getting ready for a surround. Oh no, the surround. SpeCial, please. Oh god, I fear for SpeCial right now. The Ling Bane is coming in here at the front line. Meanwhile, the Lings are coming in, wrapping in from behind as well. It was a little bit mistimed, but it looks like it is enough to take out the entire army here of SpeCial. Beautiful surround there by Solar. Unfortunately, SpeCial, he had no idea that the army was behind him looking to wrap around. It was a little bit mistimed, so I will critique Solar on that, but regardless, it was enough for SpeCial to be cleaned up. He was able to keep all his medevacs alive, and that does count for something. And surprisingly, SpeCial, he is unrelenting. Like, he still wants to keep pushing here. I don't know if this is the best move, especially with only 1 tank. God, Solar going for another run by. I feel like Solar knows that he doesn't need everything to defend. Like, he is content with what he has, so he has enough spare army supply to just go for this massive counterattack to bane down that wall. Meanwhile, Solar dancing with the marines and the tanks. Meanwhile, the Banelings do bust through that depot wall, and the Lings, they're going to be able to get on top of everything here. This time, there are not enough reinforcements to deal with this run by. And the Bailings, no, the SCVs, no, split puppy, split as best as you can. Oh god, 15 SCVs do go down. And SpeCial, he is forced to attack, but again, there's plenty of Ling Bane to defend. Ling Bane Queen. Soul's going for another wraparound. He wants it, he's going in. Ooh, and he is getting on top of all of the tanks and marines of SpeCial. The tanks get cleaned up. The Bailings find their connections. And Solar is able to defend and attack at the same time. SpeCial, he's not done though. We do see he's again reinforcing this position. We have another tank here. We've got a Liberator. We've got more Marines. The problem is that the rocks were dealt with. Now it's going to be even more difficult to really apply any pressure here. Another big Ling run by. Oh my god, the tank! No, the Lings are going to get on top of everything here. It looks like they may get cleaned up. Forces a cancel on the 4th CC. Oh god. 8 SCVs go down as well in the process. We actually have a couple of Bailings being morphed in. They do get spotted by SpeCial, so SpeCial will be able to focus them down. Same time, SpeCial looking to keep applying pressure here. He wants to break Solar. He wants that hatchery, and it looks like Solar's getting ready to be broken. He's like, yo, I may lose this. I'm evacuating. Yeah, he's giving it up. Very smart there by Solar. I mean, Solar, he's expanding to the north. He can afford to give up this base. And he doesn't overcommit. Instead, going for another run by. Oh my. This is ambitious from Solar. I will say that. Like, this is a lot of army supply going across the map. It can deal a lot of damage, but yo, he's going for it. He wants it. And he's gonna get it. Oh, he busts on through. Gets on top of the Marines. The Lings are going to get into that 3rd base once again. Oh my god, he's actually focusing down the CC instead of going for the workers. I don't know if that's the best move. but he does force a lot of lost mining time. At the same time, the main army of Special, he wasn't feeling confident enough to push into creep. Instead, he's just clearing up the fringe bases, which means that Solar, he gets away with this hatchery. Ooh, but the Liberators are denying a lot of mining here. Oh my god, and getting a lot of workers. Yo, the Liberators are actually paying for themselves. At the same time, though, oh, he did unsiege for a moment. The tanks will go down, and all these Marines go down as well. The juiciest of Baneling connections. Oh my god, especially he's starting to fall apart a little bit as he does drop into the natural base. But again, the Ling Bane is here to defend. God, and he does evacuate. Meanwhile, the Lings, once again, they break into the natural base. And the tank fell. There are no tanks here to defend, only Marines and SCVs. Looks like the micro was good enough for a special. And once again, he's dropping into the natural base, trying to deal some damage here, but there's plenty of Ling Bane to defend. And those Liberators were dealt with by the Queens. It was a nice attempt, or it was some nice harass by Special. With those Liberators, a lot of damage was being done. But the problem is, something that we haven't really taken note of, is that this entire time, Solar has been defending with Ling Bane. Ultra Cavern's on the way. Hive is done. 3-3 on the way. Vipers are on the way. Like, he has not stopped teching up. He has not stopped expanding. This is a 5th base, by the way, being taken here by Solar. And sure, like, there has been some aggression and some constant pressure, but it hasn't really slowed Solar down as much as it would appear. Sure, 10 drones have gone down. This is great and all, but the tech of Solar has not stopped, and that is what is terrifying. Special, he's stuck on 3 bases. He's battered, he's bruised. He lost that 4th CC earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if he just lifts up his main and just takes another base that way. I would kind of want that, to be honest. God, he's looking to push out, but like, where's his army? There are no more tanks. He's trying to go into Widow Mines. He's trying to work on 3-3. I mean, +3 attack is done, +3 defense is on the way. We'll see what Special can get done here. At least the creep spread isn't out of control. Like, the creep spread for Solar is just connecting the bases, essentially. Oh boy, but you know what's out? The Ultras. The Ultra Cavern is done. Kindness Plating is on the way. Soon after that, we're going to have Ultra Speed on the way as well. Oh boy. We'll see how the armies are able to engage. The Special's army is still very mobile. Oh my god. Oh, the power bomb does land. And meanwhile, the Ling Bane look to be connecting here. The Widowmine shot will go off on the Queens, though, not on the Ling Bane. This drop here does get cleaned up. I was about to say, Solar is playing like Dark right now. This is something that Dark does quite often, and that is he neglects anti-air for a very long time and goes straight into Ultras. There is no Mutas or Corruptors or Hydras, so you can take advantage of that with drops, but like the ground army is so massive here as the Ling Bane Ultra connects at the 4th base. Sure, there were plenty of Widow Mines, but they just didn't find the connections that they really wanted, and now the Ultras are pushing up the ramp, and there's nothing here. There's only Marines. Marines are not what you want against Ultras. Like, you need a solid backbone, you need some Liberators, some Marauders, some Ghosts, and that's just not here for Special. As Special is broken, GG gets called. And Solar takes the entire series 3-0, and he is our ESL 66 Americas champion. GG, well played. Congratulations, Solar. He played insanely well here. There's a reason why he's one of the best Zerg players in the world. As much as we love Juanito, as much as we love Special on this channel, when he goes up against the best here, he can struggle a little bit. Oh boy, as we saw, Special, he had moments of brilliance, and he definitely has room to improve. So I do believe he has it in him. But yeah, just wasn't quite enough here. Not today, unfortunately. And Solar, he was on point. I don't believe, did he even drop a map? As I quickly do check, Solar did not drop a single map today. He just blazed through the entire bracket, breezed his way through 2-0 Ryan. He took down Vanya, he took down Haas, and he took down Solar. SpeCial. Solar was just insane today. He is our champion, well deserved. And also massive shout out to SpeCial. SpeCial may have gone down in the finals, but he made it to the finals. He did come second, and with that he does walk away with 100 USD. It's honestly not bad at all. And yeah, SpeCial, he just needs to refine his TVZ a little bit more there when it comes to especially those run bys. Like every single game, Solar, he just went for those like Ling Bane run bys, and SpeCial just couldn't deal with them. Either the wall wasn't a wall in time, or he didn't have any bunkers with Marines or any tanks or Widow Mines to defend. He was just a little bit exposed. He was focusing a lot on those main pushes, hoping to keep Solar's attention in the middle of the map, but every single time Solar didn't care and he just went for counterattacks. It was crazy. Ay. But with that, congratulations to Solar once again. He played well, and there were some solid ZvTs there. And thank you everyone for joining me as well. I appreciate it. I don't typically solo cast, but I've been doing it a little bit more. I've been doing it a little bit more recently, especially over the weekend. 2021, it's going to be a little bit different compared to 2020. 2020, of course, due to COVID, due to lockdowns, all of the Ducklings were, for the most part, available for these casts. But now that we're moving on, like, we're all getting jobs, we're all, you know, unfortunately, what is it, the honeymoon phase is ending, where we do have to focus on other things. And as a result, you know, Milk, he's got his job, Yoda Slim as well. Yaku is focusing on his studies. So we will do our best to bring you beautiful StarCraft coverage here on the CranKy Ducklings. Even if it means I have to solo cast a little bit. Which isn't ideal, but yeah. When it comes to all the events that we cover, we will still be covering them, as you can see on the screen right now. Our next broadcast will be on Friday, so we do have 2 days off, Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday will be Master Swan Open. That will be casted by Steel Mold. Master Swan Open is, of course, our amateur event that we run every single Friday. That will be for bronze to 4.9k MMR players. That is typically Masters 2. So yeah, we do have our amateur events on Friday, and then of course the weekend is full of Latin American and Oceanic StarCraft with Sentimiento Latino, GPO, Battle of the Americas, and ESL Open Cup Asia. Plenty of StarCraft available here. The only thing that concerns me, and we'll deal with it when we get to it, but last year in 2020, we did insane casts during DreamHack. For those of you who are relatively new to the channel, I believe there was a period where we casted 14 days in a row. Because of DreamHack, we casted DreamHack Latin America qualifiers, North America qualifiers, Oceania as well, and all our regular weeklies. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that, but we'll try. We'll try our best to bring as much StarCraft coverage as we can, especially when DreamHack starts up again. But thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone had a good time. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. It was honestly a great day of StarCraft. Not as much PvP as we're used to. We had a lot of Terran here, which is always nice. It's always nice to see. Massive shout out to Milk and Cookies. He joined me earlier in the broadcast. He did have to go to work by the time the semis rolled around, but again, I do really appreciate that he was here for the beginning. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining me as well. If you want to follow the CranKy Ducklings and see when we go live, we are follow us on social media. We have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can join our Discord channel. You can follow us on YouTube, where all of our VODs are posted as well. And thank you for supporting us. If you want to support us, you can subscribe, you can check us out on Patreon, or you can do the least that we ask, which is to follow us. Follow us here on Twitch for when we go live. But yes, thank you for watching, and we are done for the day. Oh boy, who are we going to raid? Is the big question. Who is streaming right now? Normally I check who is streaming while the other person is like plugging themselves. The other caster, I should say. Who is streaming? Cats is streaming Dota. Shaking my head, Cats. Shaking my head. Gaming, Livy B. Is there anyone else? A smaller streamer? Eurysseus. Okay. Sure. I am Ambiguity is playing, but I think she's playing 2v2s. Don't typically raid people who are playing 2v2s. But yes, yes. Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow? Oh my god, what? On Friday. Ciao. Ciao. Give whoever we raid plenty of love. Plenty of love.